Hey everyone, it's Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's video is going to be a little deep dive into my spring wish list for 2022. If you haven't done so already, it's a really good idea to get into the habit of creating a wish list, whatever that is for, because when we write things down and we have like a more concise idea of what it is that we're actually after, it just really helps us to make better purchase decisions, make our dollar stretch a little bit farther, and it helps us to prevent adding unwanted things, items, and whatever into our life, into our closets, and into our lifestyles. Some people prefer to physically write down a wish list, but I like to keep that in my phone. So I just have running tabs in my notes section. I have a wish list that is categorized by the different seasons. I also have a separate luxury wish list that I add things to, but sometimes they kind of like overlap with one another, and that's okay. But I really like to have a spring, summer, fall, and winter running wish list, so that, as I am going through my things, as the seasons are changing, and once I get ideas or, find areas that I need to maybe improve on or add more things to within my wardrobe, I can just write it down as it's fresh in my memory. And when I'm out and about shopping, I can reflect back on that list and really make sure that the purchases that I am making are aligning with the things that I am needing and the things that are important on my wish list. Another thing that I have found to be incredibly helpful is to categorize my wish list. So what I mean by that is I break them down into three categories. So, I'll have my seasonal wish list, and then I will have three categories within that wish list based on importance. The most important category, in my opinion, is repair. So these are items that need to be tailored, repaired, whatever. Those are the items that I already own that, might need a little bit of love or TLC before I can wear them again. Taking care of the things that we already own, the items that we've already invested in, is such an important factor in creating and maintaining a sustainable wardrobe. The next most important category is, of course, the items that you need. So this is the need category. These are the items that are missing from my wardrobe or need to be replaced in my wardrobe. Those are, of course, going to be of high importance. And the third and final category is my want. So these are items that I don't necessarily need, but I just really want to add my wardrobe. And so by putting them on the lower importance level on my wish list, it really helps me to stay focused on the things that I already own that need to be fixed, or the items that I actually need to purchase instead. I have two items of clothing in my wardrobe that need some repairs. The first one is something that I unfortunately already have at the tailor, so I can't show it to you and it won't be back to me by the time that this video is up, but that is a pair of Hugo Boss trousers. So these are a pair of trousers that I thrifted and they fit me perfectly pretty much everywhere except the waist was just way too big. And because it needed some minimal tailoring, I went ahead and just picked them up. I purchased these several months ago and I put them away on purpose because, again, like I said, I'm on a weight loss journey and I didn't want to rush to get them tailored right away. And I'm really glad that I waited because I have a wedding coming up that I need to attend, and these are the perfect pair of dress pants to wear to that wedding. So last week I took these pants to my local tailor, and I can't wait to get them back and see what the finished product looks like, because these are honestly some of the best well-made trousers that I have ever owned, and they're going to fit me perfectly once they are tailored. The next item that needs to be fixed in my wardrobe is a Burberry trench. I found my Burberry trench, you guys. This is a recent eBay find. I got a crazy deal on it. I believe like once everything was said and done between taxes and shipping, it was like $135, which is crazy when you look at what they retail for nowadays. But I specifically wanted to purchase a vintage trench. I came to that conclusion because, I wanted to be able to wear it without fear of getting it dirty. With it being vintage, it's not, perfect. There are some little spots here and there that aren't like super crazy visible, but they're there. And I just, feel more comfortable wearing it. And also the price point too. I'm not, afraid or feel self-conscious to walk around and use it in my everyday life, which was super important to me. Another reason this coat was so affordable, it was because it was actually missing the belt, which that's something that personally doesn't bother me at all, because honestly, one of the reasons that I was hemming and hawing about the classic style of the Burberry trench was the fact that it did have the belt. And I personally would be wearing this coat open most of the time. And so the belt would just kind of get in the way because it would just be open and just kind of hanging out there. So that didn't bother me at all. The other reason that this was so affordable too is that the buckles on the wrist area actually have a bit of wear to them, and that's pretty common for vintage trench coats. However, I did find the perfect solution for that. So actually on Etsy, there are several sellers that sell similar sized, leather covered belt buckles, say that 10 times fast. So I'm going to be able to easily get that repaired. I will just purchase those and take them in to my tailor. And the main thing that I need to get fixed on this coat is I actually need to get it hemmed. It is just a bit too long for me. It's just like a couple inches too long. So that's going to be a really easy fix for me to take in and get tailored. But I am so over the moon excited that I found my Burberry trench, and for such a great deal. eBay is a fantastic place for you to find really amazing secondhand luxury deals. So definitely, if you've been sleeping on eBay, you want to definitely go check that place out because you will find some crazy deals. Moving on to the need category. So the number one thing that I want to be on the hunt for, this is a spring and summer item that's on my wish list, but is a classic white t-shirt. So last year I purchased some of these semi-cropped, a little bit oversized white t-shirts. They just came from like the juniors department in Dillard's, so they're not super high quality. Definitely I won't be able to wear them past this current upcoming season. But the other reason that I need to purchase some white t-shirts is because of my weight loss. I know I've said that like this is the third time I'm talking about that. But I can wear the shirts that I purchased previously and wore in the last season, but they are a little bit big, and in certain instances and with certain clothing styles, they're not going to, they're not going to look quite right, is what I'm trying to say. So I'd really like to invest in at least two, preferably three more classic white t-shirts, and add those to my wardrobe because like if anything is going to be like how it was last spring, summertime, I will wear the heck out of those. A white t-shirt and jeans is like a uniform staple for me for the spring and summer season. So I definitely want to add some of those. I'm considering trying several different brands, and then the style that I prefer is a slightly longer, almost elbow sleeve length. And if I can, I like to find it to be like semi-cropped so that I can easily front tuck it, and so that there's not a bunch of extra fabric like hanging in the back. So that's really what I much prefer. The top contender right now is these t-shirts from &OtherStories. So yeah, I'm really curious about the quality and fit, so I'm definitely considering those. I'm also considering this Australian brand, and I'm probably going to butcher the name of this, but it's called Ceres Life. It starts with a C, and I really love a lot of what they're doing with their t-shirts, their basics. It seems to be a higher quality, more sustainable brand, but I am going to have to do a little bit of research on the sizing because with this being an Australian brand and having it, sent to the US, I'm gonna have to pay quite a bit in shipping and fees and stuff like that, possibly customs. So I really want to make sure that if I do order for them, that I order something that I know I don't want to return. So I need to do a little bit more research on that, but I'm considering that. And last but not least, is a brand that I swore up and down that I would never buy brand new from. So yeah, look at me, liar, liar, pants on fire here. And that's from Everlane. So I've talked about this in previous videos, but I've talked about how Everlane is a problematic brand. I'm considering changing my mind about this brand because it seems like the issues that I had with them have been resolved. And after they received a ton of backlash for how they were treating their employees during, I really think that, they did a good job in trying to do better as a company. But I don't know, I haven't made up my mind about it, because, I'm not necessarily a person who just will straight up, like, boycott something, you know what I mean? I do have, brands that I'm just, like, not interested in purchasing from, or, like, I change my mind about, but there's very few that I'm just, like, straight up like, "No, I will not support them," and Everlane fell into that category because they are a sustainable brand with sustainable values. Sustainable, is their foundation. Whenever a brand like that, does the things that they did, it just really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And so I didn't buy anything for them for like 2, almost 3 years. Ironically, I am wearing an Everlane cashmere sweater today, but I did buy that secondhand. But anyway, so I'm on a rant mode right now. But they have this white cropped t-shirt that I'm kind of obsessed with. I kind of want to try it. I kind of want to buy it. I feel bad that I'm like considering it, but I don't know, you guys. I want to give myself some grace. And if it's something that I'm actually going to wear and get a lot of use out of, I want to consider it. And I'm also a believer in second chances. And if they really, have turned the corner and are, fixing the problems that are within that company, then, I support that. I want there to be as many sustainable, well-rounded brands out there that are, accessible, affordable, all those things. And I feel like especially Everlane is a brand that is on the more affordable side when it comes to sustainable brands. So that just means that they are going to be more accessible to more people. And I don't want to, diss a brand like that could so many people could benefit from buying from. So I don't know. I'm done with my rant right now. Thanks for bearing with me. But so I'm considering this particular t-shirt from Everlane. It is more cropped than I would normally be used to. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but we'll see if I end up ordering it or not. The next thing that's missing from my wardrobe is a lightweight knit. So, I could potentially add a few of these, but if I have just one, I think that that would be great. The top contender for this is this sweater from Quince. So, I actually did order this about a month ago in the size medium, and I was swimming in it. So, this is a sweater that just runs super big as an FYI. But I was very impressed with the quality and composition of the garment. And I did get it in the white, and it's not see-through, which is amazing. So if you have been considering this sweater, it's a really good one. I really highly recommend it. However, so just for size reference, I'm a pretty standard medium on top now, and I'm about like a 10 on the bottom. And the medium in this sweater was just way too big for me. So if you are very petite, this may not work out for you, because I don't think that they have it in smaller than a size small. I don't think that they have an extra small. So that's something that maybe that they could improve on in their sizing, spectrum. But I really did love this, and the price point is incredible too. It's under $40 for a, really well-made cotton sweater. It might even be organic cotton. I can't quite remember, but it's a great one. It's definitely one that I'm considering. So I really want to add at least one or two lightweight spring knits, because the majority of my sweaters right now are cashmere, which is great. I really need cashmere when it is really cold outside, because, I have some issues with regulating my body temperature due to some health issues. So when it comes to spring, when things start to get a little bit warmer, cashmere can be just too much for me. Even though it does regulate my body temperature, it could just be a little bit too warm. So I'm really looking into lighter cotton knits instead. I'm also interested in trying a blouse from Sezane. So Sezane is a brand that has a serious cult following, you know, behind it. And there's a good reason for that because it seems like their garments are really well constructed. They're a certified B Corp now, and you know, they are very careful about the number of garments that they do produce. They tend to sell out pretty fast. But you know, I don't have a problem with that because that just means that they're not wasting a lot, you know, in terms of, you know, their excess. So um, I really appreciate that when a brand does that, you know, does more limited runs, even though it can be inconvenient to us as a consumer. It's just better for the environment for us to do that. It's going to help us, you know, be more mindful consumers as well. So I'm definitely interested in Sezane and their blouses. They are really pricey though, and even on the secondhand market, because of how hot this brand is, you won't always find something from this brand at a great price secondhand. So you know, I'm considering it. You know, it would have to be something that's versatile that I could wear, you know, in a lot of different ways, something that I could, you know, dress up, dress down. So I'm definitely considering it, but we'll see. The final top that I need to add in my wardrobe this season is a basic long sleeve black t-shirt. This is something that I need to replace. I had a long sleeve black silk jersey. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of words. T-shirt from Eileen Fisher that I absolutely loved, but I accidentally dried it in the dryer, which is not good. And the sleeves shrank a little bit, and it was getting a little bit too big on me as well because it was a large, and so I just let that piece go. And so I've been considering, you know, a couple different brands in terms of, you know, long sleeve black tee. It is a basic. I can get it from literally pretty much any brand out there. I don't want to buy something low quality, but I wouldn't be, you know, opposed to buying it from someplace like J. Crew or Banana Republic or something like that because it is just a basic tee, and you know, I've had good experiences buying from those brands. Some of the basics in my wardrobe. But I'm also interested in, you know, maybe purchasing it from Aritzia. You know, of course, they have a variety of different, you know, long sleeve black basics. They have some really nice, beautiful rib knits as well. And a rib knit always looks a little bit more elevated and expensive. And that's something that I could even wear to this wedding that I have coming up. I'm planning to wear black and navy to the wedding. So I'm considering that, but I'm also considering purchasing this from Mott and Bow. I did a review on this brand. They did send me several items to try, and I loved the white t-shirt that they sent me. You know, in terms of the fit was great. Across the board, I felt like their tops all fit pretty consistently. But my biggest gripe with that was that it was like tissue thin, and like you could see literally everything through it. So I would not recommend it in the white, but I think that the black version alternatively would be great. I think the quality is great. So I may end up purchasing that. Moving on to bottoms. Your girl needs some denim. I am down to one pair of jeans right now, which is not good. I am currently obsessed with the Perfect Vintage jeans from Madewell. I did a whole video about me trying them on in the dressing room. At that time, I was a little bit heavier, and I was actually in between sizes. So now that I've lost weight, the 30 fits me literally like a glove. Because when it comes to Madewell jeans, if you are in between sizes, I would not recommend purchasing their jeans because you want them to be like, you want to be able to put them on and they be tight, almost like slightly uncomfortable when you get them on, because they do relax a little bit throughout the day. And these jeans fit me so well and have such great, you know, retention, or I don't really know what the word I'm looking for there, ability to bounce back, that I can actually wear them like 4 times before I need to wash them. So I've been able to get by just fine with one pair, but I don't like having one pair and having it be in that heavy of a rotation. So I definitely want to add at least one more pair of jeans, probably the Perfect Vintage. But because I know what size fits me and I know that style fits me, and they often come up on the secondhand market, I'm definitely going to check that first before I run out and buy new, because Madewell jeans are pretty expensive. I mean, they're not, you know, the most expensive denim out there, but they're expensive and they don't go on sale as much as they used to. That's something that I've just personally noticed. So, but like I said, because I know my size and I know like what fabric composition that I want in them, I can, you know, if I'm patient, find a pair on the secondhand market. So that's probably the route I would go. I also kind of want to add like a pair of, you know, cropped jeans to my wardrobe. Something that's like, well, I should rephrase that. So cropped length, generally speaking, is like regular length on me because I have short legs. So I want something a little bit more cropped than that because I really like the look of like a taller boot with like a cropped jean. I just think that that looks really cool and edgy. And, you know, in terms of spring and summer, I think that they look great with like a pair of sneakers or something like that. So I'm considering that, not sure. If I go that route, I'll probably try to look for something that is, you know, secondhand and something that is a lower price point because I don't know how much wear I would get out of it. The perfect vintage jean from Madewell, I know is something that I absolutely love and am obsessed with. So that, you know, would get a ton of wear, but I'm not sure about the cropped style jean. So I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for something like that. I'm also in need of some more lightweight pants or trousers. So my beloved Lululemon, you know, straight leg joggers are starting to get a little bit big on me, you know, not to the point that I need to get rid of them yet or get them tailored. But I'm definitely keeping my eye out for like one or two more pairs of, you know, lightweight trousers that are similar like that, that can be versatile, dressed up, dressed down. There's also a cropped jogger from Athleta that I would like to replace. So I sold mine to my local consignment store because they were so big that they were almost falling off of me um, in the size 12. I can't remember exactly what they're called. I think they're called the Brooklyn crop jogger. They only have them out in the spring and summer season. To my knowledge, they aren't out yet, but if they are, I will link them for you down below, which I will link any and all of these things that I'm mentioning down for you below. So if you're interested in purchasing them, you can easily find them. But I love those. They're so lightweight. They're like tissue thin, but you know, stretchy and comfortable, and they washed and wore extremely well. I really, really like them a lot. And you know, again, that they could be dressed up or dressed down. You know, they're that like athleisure type of pant. So I would really like to get those again in a size 10. The last thing that I would like to add is a pair of paper bag trousers. This is something and a style that I am obsessed with. I think it looks so flattering on my body type. You know, something with like a tie waist, and the perfect pair, in my opinion, is the Austin trousers from Sezane. These pants I literally cannot get out of my mind. I've been obsessed with them ever since I first laid eyes on them. Uh, and they come in so many different fabrics and washes, you know, in a true trouser form and in a denim form. I would like to have at least one trouser pair and one denim pair. Just depending on, you know, these tend to go out of stock really quickly, especially in my size. I definitely think I would go for the denim style first. So the, you know, black washed denim or the light wash denim first. So, but I would also be really happy with a pair of the gray or the navy trouser version. The only gripe I have about this brand is that they really don't, you know, go in depth about their sizing. So it's really difficult to figure out like what size you are. But they do offer pretty convenient returns and, you know, free shipping over a certain amount. So I think that they expect that people are going to be ordering multiple sizes and things like that and sending back what doesn't fit, which is probably what I will end up doing. Really excited to try these trousers. I think that they will be perfect for me as long as I, you know, figure out the sizing. But fingers crossed that I find my perfect pair. As far as shoes go, I am pretty set, but the only thing that's really missing is brown shoes. So I'm really missing a pair of brown loafers. I did have a pair that I retired after last spring because they were just like too far gone. They were a pair of suede shoes. And I'm kind of like over suede just in general, just because it's just too hard to take care of in my opinion, especially in shoes. Like it's just, it's not practical. It's not a practical form of leather for my lifestyle in particular. So I'm definitely looking at a pair of loafers, looking at something more durable, and definitely am considering Vivaia. Guys, I am obsessed with this brand. So I did work with this brand recently. They did send me shoes to try, and I'd love to continue working with them because I really love the mission behind the brand. Their shoes are, you know, the quality is impeccable. And the shoes that I have from them are not only comfortable and require literally no break in time at all. I get so many compliments when I wear them. They're so fashion forward, and the designs are, in my opinion, a lot better than like their competitor Rothy's. I think that they pay attention to more the design elements than Rothy's, or I don't know. I just like the designs better. And I think that they're better for people who have wide feet in general. Not all the styles work well for wide feet. I don't recommend their pointed toe version and some of the narrower heels and things like that, but like the loafers and the sneakers, amazing. So I'm definitely looking at Vivaia. Specifically, I'm looking at the brown Sierra loafers. I love the design of these. I think that they're cool because like they could be so casual and so dressy, and they're like casual dressy at the same time even. Like they're really interesting to me. So visually, I really think that they're appealing. I know that they'll be comfortable. I know that I would get a ton of wear out of them, and the price point is great also. Alternatively to a brown pair of loafers, I want a brown pair of sneakers. I am a sneaker lover, especially in the spring and summertime, even in the fall as well. So they do get a lot of use out of me, and they are heavily in my rotation. So they don't last me as long as some other shoes tend to do. So I am considering, you know, purchasing something like from Vans or Converse. They have a ton of different like neutrals and browns to choose from. So I'm definitely considering those, and also because the price point is really good too, and knowing that, you know, shoes are like sneakers are something that I'm a little bit harder on and wear a little bit harder, so they don't last me as long. I don't want to make as big of an investment in them as some of my other footwear that I have. And so I just think that they'll be very practical, and they'll go with literally everything in my wardrobe. I have one accessory that I am needing to add to my wardrobe, and that is a black belt. So I did used to own two designer belts that were also black, but I ended up selling them. I'm not going to get into why today. I plan on making a whole video about designer items that I have sold and talking a little bit about why, but I no longer have those, and I have been obsessing and lusting over this Isabel Marant Lecce, this whatever this is, belt. um I'm obsessed. I'm in love with it. The design of it, as soon as I saw it, I saw this on Lauren. She is amazing. Lauren Grace Harding is her channel name. She is so sweet and kind. You know, we've talked a little bit back and forth here and there on her channel, in the comments section, and she's just super nice and super helpful. And she purchased this belt, I believe, first in the brown color and then got the black, or I can't remember if it was vice versa. But anyway, she owns both of them, and I saw them on her and was like, I gotta have this. This is the perfect belt. It's literally everything that I've been looking for in a belt. It has zero hardware, so that means that you can wear it with quite literally anything. And it's a designer belt that is not only priced pretty fairly, in my opinion, but you know, it's going to be easy for you to wear with literally any other designer item in your wardrobe. The only thing is that I'm concerned that it won't fit me. So like I said, I am a size medium on top and a size 10 on the bottom. I have a pretty small, you know, natural waist area. And I'd want to wear this belt, you know, at my natural waist and even a little bit lower in some of my denim that, you know, the belt loops are a little bit lower. What makes me concerned about the sizing is that, um, you know, lots of people have been commenting on this belt, you know, on, you know, Saks Fifth Avenue, Nordstrom, and various other retailers, that the belt runs extremely small. Like, it's concerning when people say that they're like a size small or extra small and they bought a size large in this belt. So I'm concerned that it's not going to fit me quite right. I don't know. Some retailers do offer it in an extra large, which Isabel Marant on her like actual website doesn't. It just goes up to a large, which I think is a little weird. So potentially like the extra large might work for me, but as an alternative, I did find some similar styles to this belt on Etsy. Some are kind of, if I'm going to be completely honest, are more like a direct copy, which is not something that, I really want and not something that I advocate for. And you know, not sure how I feel about it, is what I should say. If I would need to go the Etsy route, I would probably pick this one that is more of like a pebbled or grained leather. So at least it's a little bit different, and they do offer it in different widths as well. So I would pick the one that's probably smaller, just so that it's like more designer inspired rather than a designer copy, because I'm really not into designer copies. I think that they're kind of gross. I'm not into that. I'm honestly really torn about the subject. So let me know what you guys think down below. Am I, overreacting, overthinking, or is that too close to the original? Is it, distasteful? I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I only have a few items on my want list this season. A lot of my needs also cover my wants. But so these are items that I would like to purchase if I have some leftover funds, as the season, progresses, and as I'm buying the items that I need first. The first want is a new jumpsuit. So I do still have one. I don't really necessarily need another one. I have my Eileen Fisher one that seems to still fit pretty great and just fits me better, which I love it when that happens when you lose weight, when it's just something fits better versus, you having to get rid of it or something like that. So I do plan on wearing that piece in the spring and summer. But I did have another jumpsuit that was just from like some, I don't know, some no name fast fashion brand that I purchased secondhand. I really love that thing, but I tried it on recently and it was just way too big, and it was just too cheap of a garment for me to, take the time or money to get that altered. So I just sold that. If I were to replace it, which I don't need to, I am so in love and obsessed with the Isla jumpsuit from APiece Apart. This is something that is like literally the perfect jumpsuit, in my opinion. The perfect spring, summer jumpsuit. Oh my gosh, like I love the whole silhouette of it. I believe that this is something that they release every single year in different colors and sometimes in patterns. The two big factors in holding me back from purchasing this is, one, I already have a jumpsuit in my wardrobe. I don't need a second one. And number two is the price point. This thing is expensive. So if I were to purchase it, it would probably be secondhand. It would be something that I would have to be patient in finding my size and a color that I wanted. So because of that, it's probably not going to happen, but it's definitely something that I am keeping my eye out for. And if it's something that, continually sits on my wish list, I may, eventually get around to purchasing it. But yeah, the price point is just a bit much for me. And I've kind of heard some mixed reviews about APiece Apart in terms of quality. And for something to be that expensive, it's got to be high quality. The other jumpsuit that I am like so smitten with is the Hailey jumpsuit from Sezane. It is like, the cut is great, the color is great. I mean, it's just like as soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is beautiful. I love it. Um, now, this is quite a bit less than the Isla jumpsuit from APiece Apart, but it's still pretty expensive. So, I'm just going to have to wait and see. We'll see how things end up working out. And if I am going to add a jumpsuit, it would probably be one of these, but, just depends on how things go with my budget. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me and watching this video. Let me know down in the comments below, what are some items that are on your wish list for spring of 2022. Hopefully in the next few weeks, I will have a haul showcasing some of the items that I, am able to pick up here and there from my wish list. I'm starting early, early bird gets the worm, especially when it comes to buying items that are pre-loved. The earlier that you can start purchasing those, the better, better chance that you're going to be able to find the pieces that are on your wish list. and the better deals that you're going to find, because the closer you get to the actual season, it's going to be harder for you to be able to find better deals. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!